Hey guys, so something like about 3 months ago, when I first got my mask, I just did my initial review. I talked a lot about it. There was a lot of things I went over, whatever, but I still hadn't used it yet. It was just my initial thoughts or whatever, and I just wanted to show the mask before I used it, just in case possibly anything would happen. And then down the line, I had always planned on doing more of like an actual using review of it. So like I said, it's been roughly about 3 months since I've had this. Used it probably like something over 30 times. And it's held up really good. You can see it in the video. It still looks basically brand new. There's no major marks, no dents, no scratch, like no cracks, or obviously, it's a sticker, it's not paint, it's, a decal, whatever. So there really wouldn't be, that's one of the advantages, I guess, of getting it wrapped over paint, is that it wouldn't have those possible like paint chips, paint crackings from the impact of the puck. So in that respect, it almost acts like a protective, besides it being, looking good, it acts almost like a protective barrier on the helmet, where it's not that it can't get damaged, because there are very small areas of the mask that have marks or little scratches on it, but those weren't even from the puck. Those were from like either a stick hitting it or my head hitting the post or the crossbar, whatever. Somehow it's like scraping it against that. Any mark that the puck has left on this from a shot, I was able to just rub right out and it came right off. So that's why it's still looking really good, really brand new. But anyway, like what I was saying, yeah, the wrap almost acts like a protective kind of barrier thing for the mask, I feel like. So it kind of eliminates cracks and chips from impact. I don't want to just blanketly say eliminates altogether. I don't want to say like you take a rocket to it and it's impossible that it might crack or chip. Things can always happen, whatever. But what I'm trying to say is, like, it's less fragile than paint, in my experience, from my other masks that have paint on them, where it does, not that it chips with any shot, but you get a good shot to the mask and it's gonna chip, crack a little. Even if it's not necessarily a big thing, but it'll get at least like a little hairline crack to it or something, like, because paint, it's not gonna hold up against just bombs to your head like that. It's just the way it's just the nature of how paint is and how it's applied to a mask. Whereas this, since it's, a decal, it's all like one thing, you know what I mean? Like, it's other than something sharp like a stick, a skate, or you scraping it against posts, crossbar, whatever, something harsh like that, something really abrasive would have to break through it. But like just an impact, like of a puck or whatever, is probably not gonna make, or at least the possibility is not as high that it's gonna damage a wrap like it would on paint. So just from the standpoint of like how it's been holding up, it's blown out of the water my painted masks. Because my painted masks, I would say even within the first couple weeks of after I first got them painted and I started using them, they would start showing some kind of damage. And it was just like really disappointing, because you pay all that money for a nice paint job and you're really happy with it. And I was very happy with the paint. It's not an issue with the artist doing a bad job or anything like that. I was very happy with that. But it's just, it doesn't last, man. It's just the nature of it. And it's like heartbreaking when your beautifully painted mask starts chipping, and then after a while it just starts looking like shit. And I am super impressed at how well this has stood up. Like I said, it pretty much, barring very few very minor scratches that you really have to be up close to see, it still looks pretty much brand new from when I started using it. And like I said, this is using it over 30 plus skates. I would say if I'm averaging it, I get hit in the head maybe once every 2 skates. And I'm talking about like a solid hit to the head with the puck. So figure this has taken at least about 16 solid shots to it, and no problem at all. And there were at least 1 or 2 where as soon as I took the shot, I was like, oh, that damaged it. It's got to. It was so hard. And like I said, with my experience with my past masks, like I kind of can tell like what kind of a shot is gonna like cause some damage to it. And I was sure. And I was kind of dreading taking the mask off after and like looking. And man, I looked at it and nothing. Like, or maybe, like I said, just a little smudge, but you take some kind of little cloth, whatever, not even anything else with it, just a plain cloth, and the smudge came right off the decal. So, I mean, I can't speak highly enough about the job Mark did at SkinFX with this wrap. I mean, it's just amazing. It looks great, and the durability of it is great. And that's just the wrap. I mean, the mask itself, it's the best mask I've ever owned. I kind of addressed in my original overview video of the mask of how like OTNY is kind of has this sort of cult following, and if you're on some of these Facebook groups, like especially GGSU, you know, it's almost a little comedic how everyone is just like all about OTNY, and I mean even me too. I mean I post about it too, whatever. Some of it, I mean, it is a good mask, but some of it's kind of tongue in cheek. Just at least when I post, you know, where I say things like, if people ask about a mask, what mask they should buy, I say OTNY or get the fuck out, or you know, whatever. I mean, it's obviously ultimately I don't care what other people get. I mean, I'll give you my opinion. If you don't want to follow it, whatever. But yeah, just because, you know, OTNY and Dennis from Goalie Parts, which is the shirt I'm wearing, that's where I got the mask through. I mean, they're you know, they're on GGSU. They're very easily accessible. You can message him, you know, anything you need. So like the customer service is great with it. And I mean, I think aside from the mask itself being good, I mean, that's really, I think, what takes them over the top and what makes so many people just be such like fanboys about it. I mean, not that there's no other good masks out there, whatever, but just like from my experience, not that I've owned so many masks, but out of the masks I've owned, this is definitely the best one. It's high end, definitely a pro level mask, light. I mean, not that weight in a mask has ever been the hugest deal for me, but it does feel very comfortable, and you can tell, like I can tell it's lighter than my other masks I've had. Like I addressed in my other video too about the fit. Just the fit is great. I mean, you know, like I'm saying, it stood up to the shots great. I mean, not just that the wrap hasn't been damaged, or, you know, cosmetically the mask hasn't been damaged, but just as far as protecting me, absolutely no issues whatsoever. Like I said, I took a couple shots where I thought for sure maybe something would have happened to the mask. Like they were just complete bombs, and nothing. I mean, the mask looks great. The Eco Foam that's on the inside, I don't know really how good you can see it. Very comfortable. If you've used like Maltese, if you're coming from that, which what I came from before this, it's a seamless transition. Feels very similar. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to think if there's anything else really. Like I said, it's just feels good, fits great, light, holds up great. You know, I really can't, there's really nothing I can think of that I would complain about with this mask. Again, this is the Deco-i, so this is their, I believe it's still their newest model. I don't think they came out with another one since this came out. And it's they have the Deco and the Deco-i, Deco-i being the highest end top pro model. I think the Deco is sort of like a middle level mask. But yeah, I am absolutely in love with this mask. You know, I mean, I kind of figured I would, just because, like I said before in my original video, that there were a lot of people that I trusted that told me how good these masks were or whatever. So, I mean, I didn't think I was going to be disappointed. I wasn't expecting to not like it at all, but it even surpassed what I was just expecting it to be. Like, I don't foresee me getting anything but an OTNY if I even have to get another mask after this. I mean, I don't know how much longer I'm going to keep playing. I'm 37 and I have shit hips. So, you know, I'm still hanging on as of now just because I love to play, even though I probably shouldn't even be playing. But yeah, this mask is gonna last me a while, so this could very well be the last mask I ever buy. But if for some reason I do need to buy another mask, I don't know why I would go away from OTNY, because like I said, no complaints whatsoever, nothing negative to say about it. Feels great. You know, before this I would say the Hakva that I have is the best protection, and this is at least as good protection, if not better than the Hakva, without the main problem of the Hakva, which was the weight. So it's same if not better level protection and lighter and a little more durable. But again, that's more of an issue of paint versus wrap, because my Hakva is painted, and the mask itself is structurally sound, but the paint has chipped off a lot on that mask, so it looks kind of shitty just because of all the paint chips off, and it's kind of ruining the paint job, which is it's the classic Beezer paint job. So it's a real shame that such a awesome paint, and the guy did a great job with it too. So it's kind of a shame that is going to shit, but it's kind of the nature of it. So I would never go back to paint again. Again, nothing against painters, and it's not that I have anything against the guys who've painted my previous masks, but to me, I just don't see what the upside is going with paint over a wrap, because I mean, one thing with paint is you kind of can't 100% be sure how good of a job. I mean, you do your research, you see a painter's past work, and you can go by that, and you can get a pretty good idea. I mean, I think for the most part, if you do your research, you can find out who's good, who's bad in the mask painting industry. But even within that, everyone's human, man. You know, someone could have a bad day. Sometimes some painters are very good at doing certain kinds of work and not so good at doing other kinds of work. So, you know, sometimes you get a paint job and maybe it's not quite up to the standards you were expecting. But again, it's human error, you know. And then again, not that I'm complaining about my mask in that regard, but I'm just kind of trying to compare paint versus a wrap. Whereas a wrap, it's going to be consistent every time because it's being printed on. It's not a human painting it. So you never have to worry about, oh, maybe he kind of messed up on the eye of the, you know, or something is not quite centered or aligned properly. You know, it's gonna, as far as all that kind of stuff, it's gonna be perfect because it's just printed on a decal. So there's that. You don't have to worry about any imperfection or anything like that. It holds up way, way better. Again, I'm not trying to say it's like indestructible and it could never be ruined or whatever, but it would take something really serious and most likely not even a shot. It would have to take like I don't know, getting hit maybe with a skate blade or really a stick or slamming into my head, or my head really slamming hard into the post or something for this to start getting damaged. But just from like your normal shots that you would expect, even if they're hard, this seems to be holding up really well. And yeah, so again, like, yeah, for me personally, I mean, maybe there's some purists out there that just really love the paint over a decal. And they, you know, there's always people that are gonna like one thing over the other. But for me, yeah, wrap all the way from here on out. If I ever do it again, I just don't see the point of going back to paint. And oh yeah, and a wrap is cheaper. Not that it's super cheap, but it's cheaper than paint job. So if you're interested in this mask, again, it's the OTNY Deco-i. I highly recommend it. You know, they have other models. OTNY has other models of masks, and it's like some models are kind of more preferable for certain shaped heads than others. So like my head's kind of more thin and long, and this is like perfect for that kind of head shape. So maybe if you have like a more round, fatter head, you might need to get a different model. So that's where you would, you know, contact I would suggest contacting Dennis at Goalie Parts. He's really good to work with. But yeah, contact someone over there, and they'll help you find, you know, like what model they have that fits your head best. To me, this fits my head great, fits me better than any mask I've had before. There's no gaps, spaces, nothing. It's a nice snug fit all around. So yeah, if your head is the right kind of shape, size, whatever for this mask, I highly recommend it. I mean, there's, you know, if all you're worried about is weight, yeah, technically there's lighter masks. I think Bauer's very top of the line mask is probably lighter than this. But, you know, it gets to a point where like how much are you really gonna put into the weight? Like weight is not everything. And I think if you just kind of take everything into consideration, I don't know that you can really do better than OTNY. You know, and maybe in one certain aspect, like just specifically weight, okay, another mask could be lighter. But I mean, it's light, it's very durable, it's very protective. It feels very comfortable. I mean, the padding, the foam in it is awesome. I don't know what else to say, you know. And I feel I'm honest with my reviews. If you see other past reviews, there's definitely been, especially when I'm trying out like different paths, but if I don't like something, I'll straight up tell you that I hate it or whatever. And so I know it kind of sounds like I'm maybe just like advertising for this, but I'm not. If I didn't like it or something I didn't like, I would say it. But I love it, highly recommend it. So if anyone's curious about this mask or thinking about buying it, I would say don't hesitate, go right ahead, you're gonna love it. And even if, like I said, if maybe this model of OTNY, it might not be for your shape head, they'll get you in whichever model does fit your head and whatever size of that model. And I'm sure the other models, again, this is a pro level, so I don't want to speak for every level, you know, but at least their pro level masks, I don't think you're gonna have any problems. I mean, it might be different shapes, slightly different size, but as far as like what you can expect from OTNY masks, it's gonna be the same type of thing. So that's all for now. If you have any more questions, try to talk about anything I could think of, but if you have any more questions, just make a comment and I'll be happy to answer. All right.